right, hi everybody. You probably took a mosaic class and now you need to learn how to grout. So you took home a grouting kit in this bag, and in that grouting kit you found some instructions. You found the grout that you picked out. You had choice of white, black, tan, or gray. This one's going to be white. And you also had some sealer in your bag, which is this right here. So today we're going to be showing you how to grout this sea turtle. So in front of me I've got my water, I've got a rubber glove because grout dries your hands out, I've got a pair of scissors, some paper towels. You want to make sure that you cover your area so that you don't get it all messed up. Here we just laid down some brown paper to cover our work area. First thing I'm going to do, throw my glove on. Then we're going to mix our water in our bag of grout. Now your instructions tell you to add 1/4 cup at a time, and then add 1 tablespoon at a time until you get to the consistency of pancake batter or peanut butter. So I'm just going to dump that right in there and mix in the bag. I think I might need about 1 more tablespoonful, so I'll just slowly add this water. One thing you can't do is take the water away. You can only add more water to your grout, so you don't want it to become too runny. So that's perfect. I'm at the great consistency. It's going to be easy to work with. So I'm going to get everything I don't need out of my way. I'm going to seal my bag up. Take my scissors and clip the corner of the bag off. And now I'm just going to pipe my grout onto my turtle like I'm icing a cake. And don't be afraid to get it all over the tiles. It's not going to hurt your tiles at all. Let's get real messy with it. So now we're going to dive in and rub all of the grout in between all of the cracks and crevices. Now I want to push it, the grout, as close as I can get to the edges. And we save a little space on the edge so we can drag our fingers down the side, and it fills in the grout here on the edges. So we'll go ahead and do that to the whole turtle, and then we'll wipe off any excess with a dry paper towel. So any of this excess that I have right here, I like to leave my grout with the bag tip up, and then I can just push it right back here on this bag. I might need some later, I probably won't, but just in case it's there. Now you see I'm getting grout all over the edges. That's okay, because once the grout dries you can sand it off, or I just like to take some acrylic paint and paint right over it. Alright, so now we've got our turtle completely done, all the edges. We've got all this excess grout here. So again, I'm just going to wipe it off onto my bag, or you can just wipe it off onto your paper that you've covered your work area in. This is trash. I don't need this anymore. One thing you do want to dispose of it in the trash can. Don't put it down the sink. So I've wiped off as much of this grout as possible with just using my hand. So now I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe, it's a dry paper towel, and wipe off any more grout that I couldn't get off with my hand. See how easily that just comes off? And I can rub around the edges, kind of fine tune that up a little bit, smooth it out a little bit. You can still work with it, mold it and shape it the way you want. Clean up those edges, and then I'm going to use 1 more paper towel. That one's pretty soaked with grout, and wipe it off again 1 more time. Get as much of that grout off as I can. Now you see that it's not all going to come off because it's still wet. But now we just need to let it dry for about 20 minutes. So here's what you're left with. You'll see the haze that's already starting to form, and we want to let that dry a little bit, 20 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to wipe it off again with a wet sponge or a wet paper towel, a damp paper towel. All right? So we have let our turtle dry for about 20 minutes now. So you can see how the grout haze is predominantly more visible now than it was when we first grouted it. So we need to get that off. We cannot let that dry on there because we'll never be able to get it off. So I'm just going to take a dry paper towel and dip it in some water. And now I'm just going to wipe off my tiles. See how easily that comes off? Now I'll take a dry paper towel and wipe that off again. Now we'll just let that dry for another 20 minutes, and if that haze comes back, we'll just repeat that same process. After 3 days of letting your grout dry completely is when you want to put your sealer on. Now your sealer is going to go on with a foam brush or with a sponge, and this is basically going to keep your grout from falling off, makes it nice and tight. And then if you like, at the end, after you've sealed it and grouted it, I like to paint the edges with an acrylic paint. Simple craft paint from the dollar store or from the craft store will do just fine. You can use whatever color you like. You don't have to use the same color as the grout. Whatever you like, and then your mosaic will be ready to go. One thing you don't want to do is to hang these outside in direct contact with water. You don't want to put it on a fence or on a tree. You just want to keep it on a covered patio would be simply fine. Bathrooms are fine. So there you go, and that's how you grout.